Problem 5, we left this for this week. I told you to solve it yourself, and I'm going to show you the answers today, and you're going to compare your answers to my answer here and see if you did a good job or a bad job. So here is the books that shows the T account or the checking account, shows that you have a balance and you did all these journal entries. And now the book is showing that you have $21,550 balance in the T account. However, you got a bank statement, and the bank statement says, no, you have $22,499 available. Your book says you have $21,550. Your bank is saying something else. So you have to go through this, the debit memos and credit memos to see what's going on. So the debit memos are the bad news. It says those checks are, deducted from your books. So you have checks that has different dollar amounts, different check numbers. And you see in some cases, not every bank is doing this, but in some banks, you might see a star. That star shows that after 446, a number is missing because check number 446 and then should be 447, but it's missing. Because that is missing, the bank gives you a star here. But don't get used to that babysitting because some banks don't do that babysitting. Some banks, they don't show any star. So you have to do your job properly anyway. So, but here is kind of one of those banks that is doing that. So here you can easily take your pencil and draw a opening here and write 447 and put a question mark next to it. And here is 48, 49, 50. One more time. You see there is another opening here with your pencil and write 451, put a question mark next to it. So keep going, same thing, 454, 455 is all missing. So opening with your pencil and write 455, a question mark next to it. So you have few question marks about few checks that are missing, but the rest of checks are here. So any check that is cleared here, you see 446, 2009-08-79, you can use a highlighter if you like, or just use a pencil if you like. So either highlight this whole thing, right? Highlight it here, like that, for example, right? Like that. See that highlight? So you can highlight it like that, and then go here to check 446, 2009-08-09. And you can go to here, 446, 2009-08-09. That's exactly same number. So you highlight that. Make sense? So this way, you are just doing the reconciliation manually to see if that check is cleared. Yes, it is. So same thing, you go bottom and one more time. Let's say 448 is 246299. You highlight that, 246299, and you go here, you highlight 448, 246299, and you highlight that, right? So you see check number 447 is missing because here you can see 446, 447 is missing. So that check that is missing, technically that is a problem. So you want that to be in the red because that's the check that is missing. Got it? So the red one is missing. That is, we call that outstanding checks. So this check is not cleared yet, so it's still outstanding. Outstanding check should be deducted from your bank statement balance. So you got the idea what to do, right? So you do all these one by one, highlight them over here, highlight them over there. If something is missing, it's a question mark. Write your pencil a question mark for 47 question mark, and go ahead and highlight with the red, let's say, or just if you're using a pencil, just circle that. Put a circle next to it and the question mark next to it. If you have highlighter, then use your red highlighter. That's either way you like it, it's fine. So bottom line, you have to identify everything in here. Either it's yellow highlighted, that means it's clear, or not. Okay, so customer deposit is $12,505.35. Let's do that one. Let's say so customer deposit, $12,505. That's a yellow, let's say. And we go over there, 12,505. Yes. That's right there. Make sense? But then you see here you have a deposit of $12,235.66 on the last day after 5 p.m., probably in the ATM machine, which you recorded it. It's very good, $12,235.66, but that is not in here. Oops. So here you write deposit in transit, 12,000, whatever it is, 12,235.66. Put a question mark next to it here with pencil, and here you go back and you highlight that. So this is deposit in transit. So that yellow is outstanding check, and might be several outstanding checks here too. And this is deposit in transit. So anyway, after doing all those, you prepare your bank reconciliation, which is company name at the top, name of the report in the middle, and the date below that. And then you put it either side by side or under each other. This one is under each other. So balance per bank statement says you have this much, but your book says you have that much with a dollar sign. Then you add, deduct. So whatever, like deposit in transit, remember, $12,235.66, that has to be added. Okay. And outstanding checks, whatever you have highlighted with red, those need to be deducted. So by doing that, you have updated balance per bank. And you put a dollar sign, double line. Then you go to your book. And based on your book, looks like you have some note receivable. Those are credit memos, good news, right? Credit memos will be added to your book. Those are good things, good news. So you add it. We have collections, we have interest collections, we have interest earned from the bank collection. That's good. So all those are added. But you have also debit memos, which is bad news, needs to be deducted. So NSF check, it's a bad news. NSF fee, it's a bad news. If you forgot to record one of those checks, you see that check 459. You see 459, look at that. So the 459, which is that check, $459, that check, already $5.54. It's nothing here. Nothing here. So here you have to draw with a pencil, check 459 missing, put a question mark next to it, put a circle, put the dollar amount here. So that's the check that you are missing. So therefore you go ahead and deduct that check from your balance because you forgot. And it happens sometimes. I remember it was a day that I wrote a check gave it to someone like a vendor in my business, and I forgot to record the check. I wrote it, but at that moment I forgot to record it, let's say in the afternoon. So I forgot, totally forgot till I got the bank statement. And then I realized, wait a moment, what is this check? And I look at my papers and say, oh my God, I wrote this check, but I forgot to record it. So here we go. I have to do recording now. So check 459, here is the deduction. Any electronic fund transfer, automatic deduction from your account normally happens every month. You have to deduct those and do the journal entries. Bank service fee, again, you have to deduct that and do the journal entry. So after deducting those, you get to the exact same number as your bank statement, $, Now, whatever happens in here, you have to do journal entry for it. So here is the journal entries that you have to do for every one of those things in your book. Again, anything in your book needs to be journalized. So those are bank statement reconciliation journal entries, and you do the journal entries. So you can now compare your questions, your answers with mine, and see where you made a mistake. And here it says unknown because you have to look at your checkbook to see why you wrote this $45 check. Whatever it is, let's say if you wrote it for maintenance, then call it maintenance expense. If you wrote it because you had an accounts payable and you paid that accounts payable, then debit accounts payable. So I don't know what that is. That's why right now we say unknown, but you have to look at the real life scenario to see what it might be. Questions, please? Okay, you have the answers anyway, so you compare to your answers and see how you are doing it. Here is the last journal entry at the end, which is a bank service fee or miscellaneous expense. Either way you call it is fine. Debit that $10 and cash is credit. Okay. In regards to section 3, okay, section 3 is going to be a little bit challenging. I think in the trial balance below, the total debits do not equals total credit. Find the correct and likely error to bring the totals into balance. Okay. So you see, you have a trial balance, but something is wrong because your balance is not equal on both sides, right? So you have to learn how to find out what is wrong. In order to do that, I created steps. These steps, you follow one after another, and that will help you to fix the thing. Plus, in this video, I'm gonna show you a little bit more than what your book is teaching. It will be more comprehensive. It will help you to get smarter and faster to fix the problem. So definitely carefully watch this recording later on again. So here we go. Step 1, when you scan the account, all appear to have normal balances, and let's do that. So cash is debit, yes. Accounts receivable is debit. Supplies debit, prepaid insurance debit, equipment debit. Accounts payable should be credit, yes. Long-term payable, yes. Capital is credit. Revenue is credit. Expense is debit. Interest is debit. Rent expense debit, yes. Everything is good. So step 1, perfectly fine, no problem. Move to step 2. But there is a difference between the total debit and credit. So what is the difference? 211 minus 204. It's $6,660 different. When we divide this number by 2, we get a solid answer, which is $3,330. So yet there is no account balance for this amount. So it is not a doubling error. So I can't find, after dividing by 2, I cannot find $3,330 here. Can you see anything like that? No. So it's not a doubling error. So doubling error is out of question. Any question up to here before we move on? Okay. So step 3. Watch carefully. When we divide 6,660, the difference of these two numbers, by 9, and 9 it's a magic number. Don't ask me where it's coming from. It's a magic number. When we divide it by 9, we get result 740. So 6,660 divided by 9, we get 740. Scanning the columns, we see that accounts receivable has a balance of 740. Right there. See, so you find something like 740 right there. So this is a slide error. Slide error, that means the decimal has been moved either to the left or to the right. So the correct amount accounts receivable balance is 7,400. To test it, 7,400, that is the correct amount, minus 740 is 6,660. And that's exactly the same thing that you find as a difference of those two numbers at the bottom. Make sense? So how do you know that slide has been to the left or to the right? Because sometimes slide might be, I don't know, one step to the left or one step to the right, that decimal. So because this number you see at the bottom, 204, is smaller than 211, so I know that slide was to the left. That means instead of 7400, the decimal came to the left, and now we have 740. Okay. Any question on step 3? No. Okay, so if we fix the issue that we found in step 3, now that becomes 7400, and this is our test. We did the test and we came it right. So we know that's the problem. So we change it to 7400. We add those numbers, and all of a sudden everything is fine. Step 1, 2, 3. That's good? Questions?
Professor, how do you divide by 9? Why did you divide by 9?
Again, I said it's a magic number. Don't ask me why. Oh. Just remember that number. That's it. It's a mathematical proof, but I'm not a mathematician, so I don't want to know, and I don't have time to know, and I don't care, honestly. All I want to know is what's the magic number that I can divide, and 9 is the magic number.
Okay.
So the difference, whatever it is, you divide by 9, you get a number, and then you look for that number or something similar in this area. And all of a sudden, boom, you got it right there, 740. And you kind of get the hints that this is a slide error. So step 2 is checking for doubling error. Step 3 is checking for slide error. Step 1 is checking for the normal balances. Okay. Now, let's go to the next problem. Again, we have a trial balance. Those at the end, oops, is not equal again. And you are thinking, what's going on? How come it's not equal? How do I find the problem here? Which one is wrong? You don't panic. You just follow the steps that I told you today. Follow those. Write it down, take a note, take a picture, and follow those steps. Step 1, Eyeballing the accounts for normal balances, we see the allowance for doubtful account and accumulated depreciation, both contra assets accounts are in the debit column. So let's go. Cash, normal balance debit, yes. Receivable, balance debit. Allowance, allowance, it's a contra account to receivable, should be on the credit side. Highlight that. See that? And then you keep going down. Supplies on hand is debit. Yes, that's good. Prepaid insurance is debit. Yes. Equipment is debit. Yes. Oops, wait a moment. That is contra account to equipment. Needs to be on the credit side. So that's wrong. Accounts payable is credit, correct. Capital is credit, correct. Revenue is credit, correct. Expenses are debit, correct. So those are two. Step one, we already got few issues. So it's very, very, very important to do step one. Okay. And right away I was able to find 2-3 problems, let's say. So here 2 problems. So I'm gonna fix it. So after I fix it, boom, everything is perfect. Just like that. So life is good, right? Questions? Okay. So let's keep going to another problem, number 3. So in number 3, again, both sides are not equal, right? So we go through the steps. Step 1, you check all accounts one by one, and you see all of them have a normal balance in the right place. So there's nothing to worry about. No problem. Let's go to step 4. You find the difference of these two. So 306 minus 252 is 54,000. 54,000 divided by 2, which is a magic number, we get 27,000. And then we look for 27,000. Do you see any 27,000 here? No. Okay, then there is no doubling error. And move on to step 3. Step 3, the difference is 54, right? 306 minus 252 is 54. 54,000 divided by magic number of 9, we get 6,000. And you look for something that looks like 6,000. You see anything like something like 6,000? Or 600? Or 60,000? No. Okay? So, step 3, it's not a slide error. You don't see anything looks like 6,000. You? No. No. Okay, so we move on. Step 3, forget it. Now we go to step 4. Here is where I get much better than your book. So very carefully listen to me what I'm saying. Okay. Even take a picture of this. When we divide 54,000 by 9, we get 6,000, which is here, which is 4-digit number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6,000 is 4-digit number. Keep that in mind. If this is a transposition error, the difference between the 4th and 5th digit. Why 4th and 5th? Because 6,000 is 4-digit. That's why it's very important. So 54,000 divided by 9 is 6,000. Very good. But how many digits is 6,000? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are looking at digit number 4 and 5th from the right-hand side. Digit number 4 and 5th from the right-hand side. Okay. And okay, you are looking at the digit number fourth and fifth from right-hand side, but how much difference you are looking at? You are looking at the difference of 6. Wait a moment. Where is that 6 coming from? The 6 coming from this part. The first letter here in 54, you see 54,000, what is it? 5, right? The first letter, first number, it's 5. The first digit is 5. 5 plus 1, always. So if it's 5 plus 1, make sense? If it is 8 plus 1, if it is 4 plus 1, if it is 3 plus 1, always plus 1. So whatever it is, plus 1. So here is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So what is the difference that you are looking at? The difference that you are looking at is 6. So the difference you are looking at is 6. Which digit? Digit 4th and 5th. What difference? 6. Okay, let's go. Are you ready? Here we go. Watch carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You see 4 and 5, digit 4 and 5. What's the difference? 6. Is it the difference between 7 and 2? Is it 6? No, because the difference between 7 and 2 is 5. So forget about it. Let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, right there. Right there. 4, 5, right there. See that? Okay. Is the difference between 4 and 0, is it 6? No, forget it. How about here? Are you going to waste your time in here? No, because you are looking at digit number 4 and 5. And this is 3 digit. So, I mean 4 digit. There is no 5th digit. So since there is no 5th digit, don't even waste your time to look at 2000. Are you going to waste your time here for 1850? No, because it's 4 digit, doesn't have a 5th digit, so don't waste your time. Are you going to waste your time here in 6500? No. How about this one? Which digit? Let's count it. And listen carefully, this is where your book is not as good as mine. Whatever I'm saying. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So which 2 digits you are looking at for transposition error? You are looking at digit number 4th and 5th. Okay, here is 4th and 5th. How much difference? 6 unit difference. Is it 6 unit difference? Here? No. Then forget it. Here we go. The next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Right there. Right there. 4th and 5th. What's the difference? How many units difference? 8 minus 2 is 6. Voila. Highlight that number because that number is your issue probably. Again, go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 and 5. Here is 4 and 5. How many units different? 6. Is it 6 unit different? No, forget about it. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 and 5. How many units difference? 6. Is it 6 between 0 and 4? No, then forget about it. Here, the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, 4 and 5. So, is it 6 unit difference between 7 and 4? No, forget about it. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see? That too is probably transposition. Is it the difference between 2 and 2? Is it 6 unit? No. Then forget about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is the difference between these two 6 units difference? No. Then forget about it. Don't even waste your time in here because this is not enough digits to look at. How about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Right there. Is it 6 unit difference? No. Then let it go. The other two, let it go also because they don't have digit 4 and 5. So, which one is the suspicious number right there. Okay, now what do you do? What do you do with this? Let's transpose these two, right? These two might be transposed, right? If you transpose these two, will be what? 28,500. So here, 82,500 minus 28,500. Wow, guess what? It is 54,000. That is exactly what your problem is. Your problem is 54,000 difference, right? So guess what? That is your problem. So you got it right. So now that you know which one has been the issue, just fix it. So here, 28,500, you put it there. That's the correct number after fixing transposition error. And voila, everything is fine. Everything is correct now. Any question, please? No? You sure? Okay. So how many steps? 4 steps. Piece of cake. I made it for you. All those 4 steps. Step 1, step 2, 3, and 4. It's all in here. Just make sure you learn this. Okay, so now let's do another one. You like it? Let's do another one. This is like doing a game. So here we go. These two are not equal. Wow. Okay. So you do step 1. Is cash debit? Yes. Accounts receivable debit? Yes. Land? Ooh, wait a moment. Land should be debit, not credit. It's an asset. Okay, highlight that. And then how about accounts payable? Yes, it's credit. Note payable is credit. Capital is credit. Revenue is credit. Ooh, wait a moment. Wage expense should be debit. Why is this credit? Highlight that too, right? And then put them in the right spot and add them up. Should be correct now, right? But wait a moment. It is not correct again. So you got 2 problems fixed, but still is messed up. Okay, then move on to step 2. In the step 2, you get the difference of these 2 balances, and it's 180,000. You divide 180,000 by 2, and the answer is 90. Do you see any 90,000 here or here? No. Then move on to step 3. So there is no doubling error. Now you go to step 3. So technically it was a doubling error, but because you went over step 1, you were able to fix it. Okay? And step 1 is very important because if you have 2 doubling error mistake, you cannot just ignore step 1 and say, let me go to step 2 and I will find my doubling error mistake myself by skipping step 1. If you skip step 1 in this scenario, step 2 is not going to fix your problem because in step 2, if you have 2 problems, step 2 is not going to find it. So don't waste your time on step 2. You have to go step 1 to find 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as doubling errors possible initially. Fix that. Step 2 is double checking that, and your doubling errors will be all gone, and you go to step 3. Step 3, you divide $180,000 by a magic number of 9, and we get $20,000. And then you look in your numbers, you see anything looks like 20,000? How about 2,000? How about 200,000? No? So it's not a slide error whatsoever. Okay, then move to step 4. In step 4, we say, okay, the difference between those two is $180,000, right? which when we divide it by 9, it ends up to be 20,000, right? And how many digits is 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you are looking at 5 digits. So you are looking at digit 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6. And you take the first digit of the difference, which is 180. You take that 1 plus another 1, and that gives you 2. So how many digit difference? 2 digit difference, 2 unit difference, 2 unit difference, but which digits? Digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Digit 5 and 6. So digit 5 and 6. Digit 5 and 6. How many units difference? 2 unit difference. Digit 5 and 6, 2 unit difference. Okay, let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see this one doesn't have 5 and 6? So ignore it. This one doesn't have 5 and 6 digit. Ignore it. This one, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So which one is 5 and 6? Which one is 5 and 6? Those two. You see that 64, digit 5 and 6. How many units different? 2 units. Is it difference between 6 and 4, 2? Yes, it is. Highlighted. Ignore this one because it doesn't have 5 and 6. But this one, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So how about difference between 1 and 7? Is it 2? No. Then ignore it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. What's the difference between 5 and 8? Is it 2 unit difference? No. Then forget it. How about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The difference between 6 and 4, is it 2 units? Yes. Highlighted. Let's go to next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, which is 4 and 2. Is it difference between 4 and 2? 2 units? Yes, it is. Highlighted. How about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Is it the difference between 1 and 1? 2? No, it's not. And the last one, just ignore it because it doesn't have enough digits. Okay, so you have 3 suspicious numbers. Okay, 3. Now, which one of these might be the actual wrong number? How do you know which one? I tell you how. Answer me. This number is smaller or that number is smaller? Which one is a smaller number? Obviously, that number, 1,288,541 is smaller than 1.4 million. Okay. So your issue is to make probably the smaller number larger, right? Or the larger number smaller. One of these numbers has to change. Okay. Tell me, if I change the 4 and 6, if I change 4 and 6, it becomes a smaller number or larger number. So if I change 4 and 6, instead of 647,000, it will become 467,000, and it gets smaller. Do you want this number to get smaller? Of course not. You want to get it larger. So that is not your issue, probably. How about this one? If you change this 42 to 24, so the number goes down. If the number goes down, then your balance goes down. You want that balance to go down? Of course not. You want that number balance goes up to be equal to the other side. So forget that also. How about this one? If I change this 6 and 4 and make it 469,998, that will reduce this number. If this number is reduced to 469,000, then this balance will be reduced. Do you want to reduce this number? Of course. That's your idea, right? So let's check this, whatever I just said. 649 minus 469. Here is the math. 649,998 minus 469,998 that you believe it is the right number. And guess what? Yes, it is. It's $180,000, the actual issue that you are trying to fix. Voila, you got it. So these two, they were innocent, but this one is the wrong number. So fix it. That's the wrong number fixed now, right? And now everything is perfectly fine. Isn't this fantastic? Questions, please. No? Nothing? Okay, today we spend a lot of time. There is a chat question. Okay, project group at the end. Let me finish this. We have one more to go. Yes. Okay, let's finish this last problem. Okay, here is the number 5. As you see, it's not equal, right? So it's okay, let's fix it. Step 1, you follow the normal balance. So cash is debit, yes. So, oops, wait a moment, here, right there. Oh, that is not good. Equipment is good, debit. Accumulated depreciation is credit. Liability credit, capital credit, withdraw is debit, revenue is credit, expenses are all debits. Perfect. So that is the thing. So fix that. Step 1, fix that. Wow, still is not equal. After finding a mistake, which is doubling error, so-called, still is not equal. So you check for doubling error one more time, and you take the difference of these two, which is 197,730, and you divide it by 2 is 98,865. You look at here and the other side, and there is no 98,865. That means there is no more doubling error for sure. So here we go to step 3. The difference between the total debits and credit is now 197,730. Okay, so in step 3, the difference between those two is 197,730. You divide it by 9, and you get 21,970. If this is a slide error, we need to find the balance in which the decimal point was moved a little bit to the left or right. So try to find a number that looks like 21,970. So let's go and look for a number that looks like 21,970. 21,970. Ah, there you go. 21,970. You see, that number looks like 21,970, but just has one extra zero. Got it? So that's a slide error. And if I make this to 21,970, this number will go down. If this number goes down, the total number goes down. Do you like the total number on the debit side to go down? Obviously, because credit is just 463. You want this number to go down. So definitely this day here, I need to get rid of 1 0. Got it? How I conclude that? Because it might be 1 less 0 also. So remember that it might be 1 less 0. But in this case, it's 1 more 0 because the decimal has moved to the right. So I'm going to take 1 0 out of here. So by doing that, 21,970, you see, now everything is perfect. And just to test it, it's very easy. 21,970 minus 21,970, that gives you 197,730. And that's the exact problem that you have. Got it? So I don't need to go to step 4 because step 3 already fixed the issue. Okay? Yeah, good? So today, even though I was going to so-called cover section 3 and 4 in your syllabus calendar, but I'm gonna just cover section 3 and section 4 next time. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. So we do next time section 4. For the next time, we need to do section 5 and 4 because guess what? Exam 2 is coming. So you just got rid of exam 1, but exam 2 is coming. So no problem. Next time we finish section 4 and 5, and then exam 2 is due. You have to submit that. And that's about it. Nothing? All adjustment has to be done in the worksheet first. Worksheet is a plan of action. So you do all the adjustments in the worksheet. And then in the worksheet, you prepare your adjusted trial balance. And then in the worksheet, using adjusted trial balance, you prepare your income statement and balance sheet. And if the worksheet is given a thumbs up by your team, then using worksheet, you prepare actual journal entries for adjusting that you need to do. Adjusting journal entries will be done after worksheet is completed and has been given green light by your group, by your team, by your accounting team. Make sense? It's just going to vacation. You first write on the paper where you want to go for vacation, what to do in the vacation. And then if everyone is happy with the vacation planning in your family, then you go vacation. Make sense? You don't go to vacation 7 o'clock in the morning, ask everyone, yeah, get in the car. We go to vacation. It doesn't work like that. You plan your vacation first. Everyone is agreeing with your vacation plan. And then you go to vacation. Same thing in accounting. You prepare your worksheet first. Everyone agrees with your worksheet. And then using your worksheet, you do your adjusting entries. That means any journal entry you did in the adjusting entries, it has to be linked to the worksheet. Have a wonderful week. See you next time.